Everybody ready? Thank you so much for joining us this morning. My name is Jose Garza, and I'm humbled to be the Travis County District Attorney. On September 30th, 2024, a Travis County grand jury indicted D. Guerra Construction, LLC, and Carlos Alejandro Guerrero, a project superintendent employed by D. Guerra Construction, LLC, for the offense of criminally negligent homicide, a state jail felony. On October 23rd, 2021, D. Guerra Construction employees worked inside a trench to install residential wastewater for a new subdivision in southern Travis County. The trench collapsed, and the fallen soil and debris completely buried Juan Jose Galvan Batalla, a D. Guerra Construction employee. On October 30th, 2021, Mr. Galvan Batalla passed from his injuries. In June of 2022, the U.S. Department of Labor's Occupational Safety and Health Administration, also known as OSHA, referred this case to our office after concluding their investigation and citing the company for various workplace violations. I want to take a second just to recognize Monica Camacho, who is the OSHA Area Director here in Austin. We are incredibly grateful to OSHA for their partnership on this case and on all matters working to keep working people safe here in our community. Our office's Public Integrity and Complex Crimes Division is prosecuting the case against the defendant and the corporate defendant. In 2021, our office launched the Economic Justice Enforcement Initiative within that division to prioritize prosecuting wage theft and unsafe working conditions that rise to the level of criminal conduct, just like in this case. Recently, NPR reported that over 250 workers have died in trench collapses in the United States in the last decade, including at least 20 trench-related fatalities here in the state of Texas. In that time, only 11 employers were charged criminally for these workers' deaths, and until now, none of these prosecutions occurred here in Texas. In certain circumstances, Texas law allows for corporations to be held criminally responsible for felony offenses if a high managerial agent has acted within the scope of their duties. All workers here in Travis County deserve to be safe at work so that they can return to their families at the end of the day. When employers engage in criminal conduct and expose their employees to hazardous working conditions, this office will hold them accountable. Our hearts continue to break for the family of Juan Jose Galvan Batalla, and they join us today to provide some remarks in Spanish. Ms. Batalla Morales.
Buenos días a todos. Yo doy las gracias por dejarme estar aquí y pues platicar un poquito de mi hijo, ¿verdad? Él era el alegre de mi casa, tenía un niño de 2 años. Creo que no era la manera de haberse ido, porque yo un día antes lo había visto en casa y esperaba que llegara el día sábado. Él tenía sueños de ver crecer a su bebé, estar con sus hermanos, tenía hermanos más chicos a quien enseñar a manejar, ayudarnos a cuidar a la niña más chica de la casa, una hermana en México que siempre esperaba cada año que fuéramos a verla. Entonces, ninguna mamá merece este dolor. Yo ya son 3 años llorando, pidiéndole a Dios. A mí solo me dijeron que había habido un accidente en su trabajo, no tenía explicaciones, solamente que él se había metido a trabajar. Dios puso al condado, a los investigadores, a todos. Doy gracias por haber hecho justicia. No me alegro por el dolor ajeno de las personas que también están siendo afectadas, pero los errores se pagan. Y ellos debieron de cuidar a mi hijo, porque él era emprendedor. Él nunca les negó su apoyo en ningún momento. Si a él le decían, métete a un tubo con agua, él se metía. Hay videos de él haciendo bromas de su trabajo porque él era así. Él era alegre. Él casi todo el mundo lo quería. Y lo extrañamos. Entonces, Dios puso a las personas correctas en esto y doy gracias. Y doy gracias a ustedes que están aquí para hacer al mundo saber de esto, que sí hay justicia, que sí nos escuchan y que tarda, pero llega. Y la verdad no sé qué más decir, solo que lo extraño mucho y nos hace falta a su familia y a su hijo. Gracias.
We're happy to take a few questions in English, and then we'll be doing Spanish language interviews through pull-asides. Any questions?
Is this the first type of prosecution like this in Texas?
In the last 10
In
years.
the last 10 years?
Yeah, there is a history of prosecuting these cases here in Travis County. Throughout the 90s, late 90s in particular, these kinds of cases were more regularly prosecuted, and it's time for us here in this community to get back to that work.
So what were the OSHA violations that were in the trench that we were impacted?
Yeah, I think we will refer you to OSHA's public information officer to get questions answered about the OSHA citations.
Can you talk a little bit about the process of looking into this from the legal side and how you were, I mean, this obviously took 3 years to bring up this case. Can you talk a little more about that?
Well, I think I just want to start by thanking the hardworking professional staff from OSHA. For over 75 years in this country, they have been the front line of worker safety. And it has been important to our work to be able to have a working relationship with OSHA, to be able to be alerted of potential criminal conduct on work sites. We begun our relationship with the Department of Labor, with OSHA, and separately with the Wage and Hour Division just about 4 years ago. Obviously, OSHA has their own process for conducting investigations. We have been grateful to be able to work with them at the conclusion of their investigation, to receive information. And once we get our hands on information, this case follows the same path that all criminal cases do. We receive information, we present that information to a grand jury so that people in this community can evaluate that evidence and determine whether there's probable cause to believe a crime was committed. They've made the determination that there was, and so this case will proceed here in criminal courts in Travis County.
Can you expand a little more on how this case meets the threshold of the homicide?
Well, as I said, it was evaluated by a grand jury who returned true bills of indictment and made the determination that there was sufficient evidence that probable cause exists to believe that a crime was committed. And so beyond that, I would refer you to our indictments. Anything else for now?
What happens to the company now? Are they still in operation? Like, are they following safer guidelines now? What's happening to them?
All I will say with respect to the company is that they are a defendant in this criminal case, and we will be moving forward through the normal course of our criminal process the way we would with any defendant.
And where exactly was this collapse?
As I said, in southern Travis County.
And there were 2 workers at the beginning of, I think our previous report said that there were 3 that were initially sent, one was injured, and the 2 were sent back. So
Yeah, I'll just refer you to the language in our indictment with respect to the facts, and then I think the facts will be borne out both through the OSHA investigation that took place up to this point and the criminal process that moves forward.
What was the reason for waiting about 3 years to make a decision to sue the Guerra Construction LLC?
Yeah, all I can say is that these investigations take time. We have more work to do, but these are not the kinds of This is not the kind of criminal conduct that always gets immediate attention from our law enforcement partners. And so we rely heavily on our federal partners at OSHA and other federal agencies, depending on the kind of violation, to go through their process and to make their findings. Once they did, and once they were in a position to share information with us, we began to follow our process, our standard process, and those processes just take time.
My other question is, if they were to go to court, what would be the benefits for the victims and for OSHA?
Well, here in the Travis County District Attorney's Office, we represent the state of Texas and the community here in Travis County, and we have a responsibility to hold accountable people who commit criminal violations, particularly people who engage in criminal conduct that results in serious bodily injury or death. And we intend to do that regardless of whether that defendant is a company or a person. Regardless of the amount of wealth or power that a defendant has, we're going to fulfill that responsibility. Okay? We're available for, I think, some Spanish language pull-asides. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks, everyone. I'm going to send you all a press release. It has a link to the OSHA investigation. And then it's also going to have information on how you can get copies of the indictments. So I'll send that like in